there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news, a top WWE champion is injured.
The Continental Classic brackets have been revealed.
Ricky Starks is back in AEW.
And AEW, like the rest of us, thrilled with the Costco guys.
Hey, I'm Andy Murray.
I'm Michael Hamflett.
And this is the Rizzler on the news. Yep. Right, let's kick this one off by talking about Jade Cargill. Before we get to the Rizzler, we're leaving the big star till last. Let's talk about a WWE champion first.
It's Rizzler attention, baby.
She is injured.
Yes.
And she's going to be out for a while. So they ran an injury angle for her on SmackDown. The memorable image of her just trashed. I mean, it's a good photo.
Yeah.
Similar to what they did with Rhea Ripley, actually, quite recently. They ran an injury angle to cover for a real-life injury. Rhea Ripley has since returned to TV. She had a busted, is it orbital bone?
Yeah.
Yeah, she busted up her orbital bone. No word on what is exactly wrong with Jade Cargill, but she is legitimately injured, according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, and she's going to be out for a minimum of 3 months, perhaps longer. So that would probably put her out of the Royal Rumble. Maybe. Unless she does like a John Cena Lazarus rapid healing gimmick. Just take a health kit. Like, you know, you find them lying around. Find them lying around in Doom and stuff. Just take one of them.
Get a burger.
Fine. Yeah, he'll be fine. Just
like in Kirby.
Yeah. Was that sound? I don't know if that's the sound effect or not. But anyway, there you go. That's why they came up with the storyline, was to write her off to cover for a real life injury situation. So that, you know, a lot of people probably still forecasting Jade versus Bianca maybe at WrestleMania. This doesn't necessarily dent that too much because Bianca could, you know, turn or whatever while Jade's away. There's all kinds of directions you can take it in. I think as well, they're obviously the women's tag team champions. Be interesting to see what they do with those belts because they have been the best champions. It's not a high bar, but they have been good. And that I'm not saying they're not a high bar. They're great. The division's not a high bar. Maybe they'll have to vacate them, put them on someone else. If it's going to be a few months, that's typically what you would do. We'll see what comes of all of this, but a bit of a blow nonetheless.
Yeah, WWE put up a tweet, didn't they, where it basically read like an old Gorilla Monsoon rundown of when a wrestler got injured with the multiple things that Jade Cargill was suffering with. Just, I think, to get over the story and make it clear that Jade wasn't coming back anytime soon. The tag team title situation being addressed is likely to fold into what we saw on SmackDown, where obviously Bianca Belair was forced to sacrifice her place in the US title tournament. She ran out on that match, freeing it up for Chelsea Green to win it. And Naomi and Bayley were at the scene. Bianca Belair has historically never forgiven Bayley for the stuff that happened in their feud going back years, so she will almost certainly put the blame on Bayley. But then there was some speculation based on a little cold look that Naomi appeared to give to the camera after the fact that maybe she might know something to do with it. She's been on a bit of a losing streak on her own, very much the third member of the big three. So it feels like they could do a whodunit where Naomi could fold into taking Jade's place in the tag team potentially, and even taking the belt with her and something like that, and then it being revealed that it was her. You know, remember the Triple H Shawn Michaels? It was you, Triple H. The camera reveals who the attacker is, that kind of thing. Bayley gets the blame. Who knows? That's going to be a source of great drama, and as you point out, doesn't necessarily mean they have to bin the Jade Bianca match if that indeed was on the board for WrestleMania. Timeline allowing, of course, and get well soon to Jade Cargill.
It could just be an Eric Rowan lookalike. Who knows?
Indeed.
These things happen. These things do happen.
Always have to assume that first and foremost. Rule it out if nothing else.
Yes.
It is pro wrestling.
Yeah. What about the Spider? What's he up to these days?
Well, funnily enough, he's actually in the Gold League of the Continental Classic.
With the eel.
AEW revealed that under Will Ospreay, the Spider will be the heavy favourite to win that Gold League. But we've got the entire rundown of the Continental Classic for 2024. Of course, this is a sequel to last year's C2 that kind of dominated AEW's television in the run-up to World's End, as it will do again, where the final will take place. Eddie Kingston was the winner last year. That resulted in carrying around 15 belts for a bit. This year it will simply be over Kazuchika Okada's. He cut that promo the other week saying he wanted to win the tournament, defend the belt much as he's done in prior G1s. He wants to break Chono's tournament record, which I guess the C2 has been folded into. Quick run down the leagues. We've got the Blue League. That's Continental Champion Kazuchika Okada, Kyle Fletcher, TNT Champion Daniel Garcia, the Beast Mortos, Mark Briscoe and Shelton Benjamin. Meanwhile, in the Gold League, it's Will Ospreay, Juice Robinson, Brody King, Ricochet, Claudio Castagnoli, Darby Allin and the Spider. The Continental Classic matches, obviously, the 20-minute time limit, no interference deals. It's sort of it's a way at very least over the next month to almost limit the amount of non-C2 stories AEW you can tell. hell.
Yes.
It's going to be so centered around that. The points and the permutations will start to matter as we go along. Blue will be on Dynamite, gold will be on Collision, if that's how it played out as last year. It's a big time of year. I think AEW were intending to make this an event, and it feels like they've done that.
Mm-hmm. Merry Christmas to me is what I say when the Continental Classic rolls around. Look, run-ins are literally banned in this tournament, and the matches have a 20-minute time limit. This is my idea of weekly TV wrestling heaven. I think that, look, the best TV wrestler of all time, Darby Allin, is in the tournament, so I think it's a very interesting set of brackets. I was expecting a Takeshita in there. I think that the fantasy booking of him facing Okada at some point, after the teases that were done earlier in the year, was very compelling. However, I also think that this is a really good opportunity. One thing AEW lacks at the moment is a standout, the top babyface in the company, right? Orange Cassidy just wrestled Jon Moxley. I don't think he's quite that figure. This is the opportunity to build one. So there's a lot of ways you could do that. You could just have Will Ospreay win the tournament. He is due some big wins in AEW. He's been putting a lot of people over, and it's been good, and it has worked really well. But, at some point you do have to kind of pull the trigger on him. Although they do have the long-term storyline with him of not being able to win the big one. That maybe they don't want to pay off yet. So who knows? I also like the idea of a Mark Briscoe glory run in this, to be honest. I've seen a bunch of people, including our very own Michael Sidgwick, put over the idea of Mark as the guy. He is the most likable man alive, I think. He is the most entertaining man alive. And he is just awesome. My personal highlights in this are getting another Brody King versus Darby Allin match. Oh my God, what does that look like? And also Will Ospreay versus Darby Allin. Are they in the same bracket, right?
Hang on, let me just
have I cocked that up?
No. Will Ospreay and Darby Allin, same bracket.
Insane.
We'll get Ospreay Ricochet once again in a singles match that didn't have a finished it the last time.
Yeah, this one will.
So this one definitely will.
I think, there's some pin eaters in there as well. Juice Robinson's going to go 1-4 or something. He's a good wrestler, but you need some pin eaters. Mortos is booked to lose a lot in AEW. I would like that to change, but maybe just now. And then Cal Fletcher is a good potential winner as well. I think that if I tweeted this and posted it on Blue Sky, which is a much nicer social media experience. If you've not bought stock in Kyle Fletcher, you're too late. It's too expensive. He's the future of this company. I firmly believe that. It's not just because he's going out there and having these moves with physique matches, which are very impressive. He's found his own style and presence and voice. He's very impressive.
Leveling up with it, isn't he? You like to see wrestlers meeting the push head on and then leveling up with it. We see that with Swerve this year.
Because he could just go out there and be 1,000 spots a match wrestler, and there'd be nothing wrong with that. I'm not dismissing that style. It's very successful and very exciting. But he doesn't do that. Like the Commander match a few weeks ago, he's an asshole hoss who is a big bully and knows it and is good at it. It's fun.
I am rooting for Daniel Garcia at the moment, not just because it would potentially involve the consolidation of one too many AEW titles, but I did really like the story last year of him spending all that time just trying to get that win. This year he goes into it as a champion. He's got a bit of form now, having just beaten Jack Perry. I'd quite like to see him have a run. And will we see Shelton bend your pin, or is this going to be the Hurt Syndicate trying to get the hands on a title this way as well?
I could see a little 3-2 run for Shelton. He's going to be a guy. The last year we had one kind of lopsided bracket and one where it was there was a bunch of guys on the same points. I feel like the Gold League this year kind of screams of that because yes, Mortos can be a pin eater, but he needs to start getting some wins at some point. Mark Briscoe can do it, but again, I think he's a good candidate for the top babyface in the company. Shelton could do it as well, but he's been really fun so far. So why? I think that this could be the more even one, where everyone kind of gets 2 or 3 wins, and the Gold League could be the more clear winner kind of thing. But we'll see. Look, it's my favourite time of year. The Hammerstein's coming soon. They're going into small rooms. I'm excited. I'm very, very, very looking forward to.
Last year's World's End is a fairly little bar clear. I think AEW can do a better job with that show this year.
Absolutely. Let's talk about Ricky Starks. You've seen him showing up in shopping malls for GCW. They had that visually incredible show this past weekend.
Coming down the escalator as if he's just been out for the day.
Yeah, he had the shopping bag and stuff. He's like sexy Lex Luger. Not that Lex Luger wasn't sexy, but you know what I mean. Ricky kind of was the Lex Luger on that show in the mall. He cut a promo saying, I'm not wasting my prime, I'm here, I'm too good looking to sit and waste away. I'm only 34 years old. All this stuff. created a lot of speculation because Full Gear was in the same state on the same day, and he was indeed backstage at Full Gear. According to Fightful, he was getting along well with everybody, and his GCW appearance, they note, would have needed to have been cleared by the company. So Ibu was the first person I saw post about this, but I think, like, obviously there's a lot of me versus the company stuff in AEW, right?
Yeah.
This is one that kind of makes sense, right? What's going on with Ricky Starks? He is too talented to be wasting away. If there's a way they can monetize this and turn it into TV, I think it would be good.
Yeah, it was interesting that they were, like, the photos gotten out that he was already backstage at Full Gear on the same day. There's not even been a window of 24 hours with which to speculate, oh my God, he wasn't there, and instead he was at a GCW show. It's been made clear that, if anything, it kind of keeps the status quo in place, but only, like, adds fuel to the speculation about exactly why he isn't on television, where he's going. I'm sure, let us know in the comments below without fighting, where you think Ricky Starks is going to do most of his business in the next coming couple of years, because it certainly does feel like he remains in the conversation, even if it's not altogether clear where that might end up.
Yeah, it's very confusing. Very confusing.
Do you know what's not confusing? The massive, massive success of the Costco guys and the Rizzler on the Full Gear pre-show on Saturday night. AEW, naturally, were thrilled with it. I mean, were they the viewers? Because we were too. Just an incredible...
It was the 3-star match of the year, brother. It was awesome.
For those that haven't seen it, the Costco dad, Big
AJ, Big Boom AJ.
Big Boom AJ, father of Big Sadness, was victorious over QT Marshall in just as Murray points out, just a glorious 3-star classic. It saw Big Sadness get in there and hit his own spear.
His name is Justice Cookie, sir.
Justice Biscuit.
Big Biscuit.
The Big Bourbon himself with the spear.
The Custard Dream.
That's indeed. The Rizzler came out with Paul White because, I mean, that visual gag was too good to pass up, obviously.
The biggest man alive and Paul White.
There was a point at which QT Marshall was like, I'm going to get the Rizzler, and Big Show stood in the middle and said, I think you are. That was goated as well.
Former opponent on pay-per-view of QT Marshall.
Indeed, yeah, deep law. Look, as well, there was sort of genuine concern at the back end of last week. There was a little bit of, like, online-only blowback that seemed to extend to the Rampage taping, where there was some boos to be heard, not at Full Gear. This is one of the most over things in the building on the night. Kind of a runaway success story. And the same was felt, certainly backstage within AEW. Per Fightful, as one would expect, we're told AEW was very happy with the Costco guys' appearance. Both sides said to be open to working together again. The Rizzler was in high demand for visitors, talent, and staff for pictures backstage. Yeah, there's been all sorts of...
Did you see him doing the CEO dance?
Yeah, interactions with the wrestlers kicking around. They know when there's somebody that's going to get them some numbers. This was a QT Marshall thing, so he had his finger on the pulse here, pushing for the Costco guys, actually to be in the middle of the 0 hour, to hopefully follow up with a match that would keep the viewers around, but AEW made the call to have that be the main event of the 0 hour, which I think was the right move as well. You were mentioning the first match on the show was taking place in a virtually empty building. We had noise for the Costco guys. So.
I have a lot of respect for the professionals who have to go out and start like a pre-show. Like, it's just a rough gig. Deonna Purrazzo and Anna Jay. It was so early, and there was like 100 people in the background. It was like, these poor people, but they did their best, and I really respect the effort they put in, despite the fact that everyone was just kind of arriving. But yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on this Costco match. It was really fun. I think I sat there watching it for 50 minutes, couldn't take the smile off my face. I couldn't stop laughing at all the. It kept cutting to the Rizzler, and because he's like 8 years old, he didn't really know what he was up to. And it's just like he did it with 2 fingers at one point, and Tony Schiavone sold it like it was the big leg at WrestleMania 3 or something. It was like,
the people what they wanted, isn't it?
Yeah, he's done the double face tap or whatever. I was like, oh my god. And then the match was like, it was the 3-star match of the year, brother. It was the hoot of the year, probably. Just punches and 70s heel stuff. Like, QT Marshall, I think, deserves a lot of credit for this. I think that he is really good at being a stooge. He doesn't need to like give himself any shine. Like, he doesn't take anything away. He gives everything to his opponent in this role. I remember like a couple of years ago, like he was doing stuff when he was winding up -1 Brody Lee Jr. and stuff. Like, he's good at like just being a low-hanging fruit kind of guy, punching down, like being aggressive towards children before getting his ass beat, eating his comeuppance. I think he did a tremendous job.
Eating his comeuppance like a double chunk chocolate cookie.
A double chunk chocolate cookie. I think that people who think QT Marshall's bad, we view wrestling through a different lens. I think he's really effective as just a goober loser.
Yeah.
He's great at it, and I give him so much credit for that. Like calling him a goober loser, that's not an insult. You need job guys. You need job guys. And
not enough people show ass.
Yeah, exactly. He's really good at it. And Big AJ, man, look. 47, 48 years old, hasn't had a singles match in like 20 years. His sons are ringside. His son is visibly having the best night of his entire life.
Yeah.
It's a cool story. He tried to get, he was an indie wrestler, never made it out of the Northeastern regional circuit, so he went and did something else. I believe he's a mortgage broker or something like that. I think his first content was actually like Muscle Mortgage or something like that. Then he gets hugely popular in another.
How have they not got him working Conrad?
He beat Conrad's ass. Poor Conrad, man. I wouldn't stand anyone's chances against the Costco guys.
Conrad and Bischoff versus Big Justice and Big AJ.
I mean, I'd like to see Big AJ throw one of his work punches at Eric Bischoff. But then he gets over in like the content world, and he's like the biggest content creator on the planet. Mm-hmm. And then he gets a chance to do the wrestling thing again on this stage, and he does a really good job. Yeah. Like when he went to the top rope, I was like, what the hell is going on? He got a superplex and a splash, and like it was really fun. I think if you want to pick holes and sit there and go, it's not serious wrestling and all this stuff, I think you just need to open up your heart and let some light into your life.
It was nice. I mixed feelings on this crew, and then in that moment, maybe it's because they came into my world a little bit, but in that moment in the ring, I too had my heart warmed by that entire strange family dynamic.
I love it, man. I'm all in on the Costco guys.
I might hit mute now because I did see their Christmas video.
So I've not seen that. I probably don't.
You might probably don't need it. Go on top.
Josh Brown is a huge fan of the Rizzler.
Yeah, message Josh Brown about that.
Let him know.
The Rizzler and the Costco guys.
He's
a big Justice guy.
But otherwise,
he's creamer.
Huge creamer.
That's because the creamer.
Okay, we'll be back soon in a couple of hours with another news video where we won't be talking about the Rizzler, so that might hurt the views actually.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have said that.
More Rizzler news.
Yeah.
We bring the news to you.
Or as I typoed him earlier, the Sizzler. Check out the video that's on your screen right now. I think you're really going to enjoy it. It's all about the Attitude Era. But it's a different kind of angle to what you're used for. It's not Kurt. It's not even Eric or Karen.
It's 6.
Cut it off. Shut it down.